Viewer discretion advised. This video is about shipping.
And, there are guys out there that are better for you than Eric. Guys that are real, for one thing.
You really think there's a guy out there for me?
Out there. In here.
Oh, really?
Sure. Guys like...
Hi.
Rufus?
Rufus.
Kim Possible is a show where a teenage girl fights crime while trying to maintain her very busy social life. She is assisted by her bumbling sidekick and longtime friend Ron Stauber, and let's not forget the brilliant mole rat Rufus. Kim is a capable crime fighter whose main worries are fitting in boys and juggling everyone's high expectations of her. Ron is her bubbling sidekick who would rather gorge himself on snacks all day and relax and do any hard work while being labeled an outcast for his particularly weird way of doing things. When the series first starts, you're wondering, why are these two hanging out with each other? Not only at school, but on missions, and are practically tied to the hip. Ron is at Kim's house more than his own house. Sometimes I forget he even has parents. This easily could have just been the Kim Possible show. It's already called Kim Possible. But as the series goes on, you understand how important Kim and Ron's relationship is. Kim brings the proper motivation to Ron, encouraging him to face his fears and escape his comfort zone, while Ron stops Kim from overstressing about the superficial, and much needed humor in a dark situation. The refresher brings stability to the show. You can have Kim the crime fighter, and Kim the teenage girl. So of course, shipping occurred.
Ron, Kim is waiting for you outside the theater.
She is? That is so sweet.
She needs you.
Aww.
Hurry, dude!
Kim's waiting for you!
There were those who were enthusiastic about it, and those who were not so much. There were two groups. Why would Kim date someone like Ron? And the other, why should Ron bother with someone like Kim? In the first season, where Ron repeatedly acts as a bother to Kim and constantly gets in her way, Kim seems frequently embarrassed to be seen with Ron. It's a surprise that these two are friends, let alone a potential couple. In a series where a mad scientist and other evil foes run rampant, why is the topic of shipping taken so seriously? Well, that's the kind of world Kim Possible is. Kim can defeat bad guys with no problem, but when it comes to boys and dating, she's clueless. Throughout the series, Kim constantly stresses about finding the perfect boyfriend. So why would Kim choose her best friend Ron, who seems to embody everything she doesn't want in a boyfriend? It seems so forced, and it can only be done because, well, they're supposed to get together, guy protagonist, girl protagonist, together. During the movie when they officially get together, spoiler, Kim seems to dread the idea of taking Ron to the prom.
Bonnie's going out with Brick, so she gets all high horse. She's all boys and the stupid prom and the food chain, and I'm gonna end up with Ron.
I don't see the crisis, honey. He's a very nice guy.
Mom, he's not a guy. He's Ron.
So what made her change her mind? Was she swept up in the moment, desperate for anyone to date? Her previous boyfriend turning into a pile of green goo?
You cursed brat! Look what you've done! I'm melting! Melting!
The movie explains a bit of Ron's process coming to terms with his feelings, but even then, while Ron liking Kim is more believable, Ron has been shown to help Kim with her love life and shows no signs of jealousy. Why is Kim getting together with this random guy that makes him realize his feelings for her? Not to mention, Ron seems against the idea of dating Kim when given the opportunity. Kim claims she's been waiting for Ron to kiss her for 12 years, meaning she was at least 5 years old when she liked Ron.
What is the sitch?
Hey, I was the kissee here, not the kisser!
No kidding! It took you 12 stinking years to kiss me!
Oh, phew. Hey, wait a minute.
However, she doesn't seem to be interested in Ron prior to season 3. Kim is chasing Josh Mackey, and Ron is looking at girls who aren't Kim Possible. There are many who believe Kim and Ron getting together was a rushed decision because soda drama was supposed to be the end. This is not true. Kim and Ron hooking up was not only planned from the beginning, but so was soda drama. Thankfully, we got more seasons and an extra movie that adds further context to the relationship. But if Kim and Ron were supposed to be together, why do most episodes have Kim always on Ron's case about being different? Ron being nothing but a nuisance to Kim, and even episodes with the leads chasing other people. I'll tell you why, you poor soul. The series is very aware of their demographic. The people watching Kim Possible isn't solely there for a potential romance, but the action, comedy, the bad guys, and a relatable high school setting. This is not to say that there are people not interested in the romance, but you must understand, the writers are trying out a bunch of fun ideas which attracted their current fans in the first place. They want to see Kim fight the bad guys, they want to laugh at Ron, and they want to see Kim and Ron experience many different situations. Characters with crushes are hard to write, as their crush can be their only character trait if you write it poorly. You can easily cross the line from cute to creepy if you're not careful. Ron or Kim displaying obvious bouts of jealousy would risk the chance of making them unlikable. Them displaying signs of a crush can also make them come as overly affectionate or gross out the audience. Also, if you see these cliches overplayed so many times, the subject will be tiring to watch. There's also the chance that the demographic might not be interested in the romance. It's easier for Kim to be in an on-off relationship dealing with Josh rather than Ron. We rarely see Josh while Ron is the main character. If the romance with Josh doesn't work out, the audience doesn't have to worry about the tone of the show changing too much. Kim and Ron's relationship is the main string tying everything together, so tampering with that too drastically could mess up the whole show. Forgetting your demographic can severely damage the story, though occasionally it could lead to feeling like some of these episodes are pointless.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
I disagree. These episodes are fun, funny, and experimental, and they tell us a lot about Kim and Ron that we normally wouldn't get in an episode when it's just the two of them. But Kim and Ron don't make a good match. I disagree smugly, once again. Kim has to overlook the superficiality of high school popularity, so of course this is going to lead to a few storylines where she sees Ron as annoying. Kim and Ron are specifically created to contrast each other. They balance each other out in whatever situation they're in, and they do everything together without the subconscious feeling that one is trying to hook up with the other. However, this could lead to the opposite problem, them being seen as purely friends with no sign of romance. They are both insecure when someone else threatens their position as best friends, so their jealousy can be viewed as purely platonic. Though if you pay close attention, the signs are always there.
See? Easy. Yeah, that's right. You squeal all you want. I gotcha.
You are too sweet. I love it. Thanks. Ron, the stuff you did. You were resourceful. You were brave. That doesn't have anything to do with this place. It's you.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. It's a cyber scrapbook. Do you like it?
It's radical. Cam! Acid to melt the lock?
Chapped lips. Mwah.
Told you not to look. Oh no, Josh could possibly see a body over you. Hey, Penny, you have the most beautiful eyes in school.
Gosh, thanks, Ron. That's so sweet. Hey, I'll see you around, okay?
I tell it like it is. Ain't no shame in my game. This rules.
Fuck up, potential boy. Let's say we do something fun to take your mind off math.
What do you have in mind? The boys are back in town.
So Spill, how's Japan? So who are you supposed to be?
Just think of me as a friend.
Yeah, no duh. Ron.
That is so not cool to do to a superhero. Oh, KB, use your super strength again. Come on, please.
Fine. Guess he just needed some Ron shine in his life.
I'm a hero. It's what I do.
Way to go, hero.
Thanks for the help, KP. I seriously couldn't have done it without you.
No big. I don't know what this is.
Look who's under the mistletoe!
Well, really, it's small parsley I found in the dumpster, but oh. Aw, Kimmy.
I could do this all day.
Let's not forget the TV movie A Stitch in Time, when Ron has to move away to Norway and him not being with Kim literally to the end of the world. But is this as best friends, or something more?
KP!
Ron, I couldn't save the world without you.
Now we can be best friends forever.
Then season 3 happened. Seeing how their episodes were cut from 30 to 14, it's obvious what Disney was planning to do. The team decided to return to their original plan of ending the series with soda drama. A lot of the more blatant hints are in this season. Josh, Mankey, and Zeta are gone, and for good measure so is Tara. As much as I would love an episode of them moving on from their crushes, especially how Zeta began dating Felix, which I'm pretty sure is a major violation of the bro code.
I mean, that's just like the rules of feminism.
However, with the limited episodes the show was given, it was best that the show used the time to do what they wanted to do, even if there was a few loose ends. The creators could have kept the two as friends to maintain the momentum of the show, but in my opinion, this was a loose end that would have been the most obvious. A Stitch in Time seems to be the most blatant of the creators' true intentions without stating Kim and Ron were more than friends. The writers have been planning to get Kim and Ron together since season 1, so all the hints they would have been given previously would have seemed aimless. So I agree with the decision to cement this ship through season 3, which is known by all as the best season. And this season we get Steel Wheels, Kim has nothing to do without Ron. We get a motion sickness, where a misplaced chip leads to wacky shenanigans. Things sure do happen. We got Bad Boy, which has this scene. Then, of course, the finishing move, Gorilla Fist. In this episode, Kim has finally met Yori, when she constantly displays jealousy at someone else taking Ron's time. This isn't the first time Kim is jealous for someone taking Ron's time, but this time the other party is female. And not just any female, a capable mystic ninja, who has no problem with sharing her true intentions about her feelings with Ron, despite being a literal ninja of secrecy. Now it's time for Soda Drama, a masterpiece of our era. In this movie, Kim doesn't have a date for the prom, and doesn't want to go with her just a friend, Ron. Everyone seems to be telling her to take Ron, but Kim absolutely doesn't want to do this. Ron doesn't fit her criteria of boyfriend material. A new guy in town named Eric seems to fulfill these requirements. Eric and Kim instantly bond, causing Ron to feel left out, and to acknowledge his romantic feelings for Kim. He decides not to get in the way of Kim and Eric's relationship, but after uncovering the latest plot of Drakens to take over the world, which includes Eric, a Sento drone, brutally betraying Kim, using her desire to have a boyfriend against her. Kim is utterly crushed, not only by being defeated by Draken, but her fears at the beginning of the movie being confirmed. No guy will ever date someone like her. Thankfully, Ron has the courage to confess his newfound feelings for Kim, which causes Kim to react in brief surprise, but relief. Now reinvigorated, Kim manages to make a comeback against Draken, Shigo, and Eric. Team Possible saves the day once more and decide to celebrate. Kim and Ron go to prom together not just as friends, but officially as a couple.
Oh, ain't that just such a happy display? It sickens me. Get the fuck out.
The movie was so well liked, but a group of people didn't buy the idea of Kim and Ron as a romantic couple. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but when the show has an extra season dedicated to a ship you don't particularly like, this could impact your viewing. A concern for these people is that Kim chose Ron simply because her first choice failed and was a mess of goo.
Oh no! No!
Oh, Wicked went to the east, bro!
Also, why now is Ron viewing Kim in a romantic light? Let's not forget Yori, starting with Exchange. During the episode, Ron has the spotlight and finally proves himself as more than Kim's sidekick. Some view a relationship with Ron and Yori as more meaningful than a relationship between Ron and Kim. This could be seen as a way to preserve the status quo, keep Ron and Kim's friendship intact, while letting him prove himself as the chosen one with a cool, not Kim girlfriend. The series spent a great deal setting up Yori as someone who is similar but different to Kim. Unlike Kim, she respects Ron, and usually he saves the day when he's with her. Outside of Kim or Zeta, Yori has the most potential to be a valuable partner to Ron.
I have eyes, you know. They're right under my eyebrows!
Let me gladly explain. There's a lot preventing both Ron and Kim from seeing each other as romantic interests.
Attention, ladies! It is I, Ron Stoppable. Contrary to popular belief, I am not dating Kim Possible, which is good news for you, Josh Mankey.
Ron has Tara, Zeta, Yori, Amelia, and now one girl from the Stitch in Time movie.
Mary Gariano actually said hi to me! To me! Do you know how this bodes?
Well,
Kim, I gotta know, has Mary Gariano said, like hi to anybody else?
Who was she?
Even Bonnie's an option. But Ron clearly likes Kim.
you and me on a date?
It could happen. I mean, not that we would, but if someone didn't know that we were just best friends and they saw us together at the feel-good film of the year, conclusions may be drawn.
He sings her praises whenever he can.
I gotcha. GJ needs Kim for some top-secret save-the-world action.
Actually, GJ needs you.
Huh?
I think you need to worry about shielding yourself from me.
So be it.
Dude, you are so over.
I can take her.
No.
Sorry.
Do you know what I'm capable of?
I've got a general idea.
And?
Dude, you are so over.
For the most part, he enjoys being her sidekick and takes the role very seriously.
Comical sidekick takes out big scary dude. I take one. Oh yeah.
Listen up. 2 words. Always alert.
I'm sorry. What was that? Haha, psych. See, that's what I usually do as a sidekick. I do the funny stuff.
Leave the gags to the weasel.
A lot of his self-esteem issues seem to be tied directly to being Kim's sidekick.
Ron, an evil wacko, is in the dairy state with a giant laser drill. I'm going. And I was hoping you'd come with.
To be your sidekick? That's what this is all about, isn't it? You just can't stand that I'm better than you at something.
But he does have the will and capability to step up when she's in need. Kim often gives Ron grief, but she's typically Ron's biggest supporter when everyone else is against him, which is often.
Ron, let me spell this out for you. Girls like guys who are comfortable with who they are. Embrace your Ronness and just stop trying to be something you're not.
However, while he may be interested in Kim, he can see he's not the guy she's looking for. She wants a guy like Josh Mankey, hot, popular, and socially aware.
This is the weirdest date I've ever been on. Ah, what's up? Show's over?
If I may bring up Yori again. Yori seems to only know Ron through his achievements of the Yamanouchi school. There's always a bit of a disconnect.
This is where you go to school?
The campus is located on the peak of Mount Yamanouchi.
So, we just wait here for a helicopter or what?
Oh, you are funny, Stauber-san. Of course, it will be our honor to walk.
Right there, in the amazing rainforest.
Always with the American-style joke, Stauber-san. Of course, it is the Amazon rainforest.
Right, and it's amazing.
They are from two different worlds. There's a chance Yori has an idealized image of Ron.
You proved your bravery once by saving the Lotus Blade. Now, you must do the same for Sensei.
Well, if I can't tell Wade or Kim, how am I supposed to track Monkey Fist?
You are too modest a hero.
Yori's main focus is upkeeping her teachings and ninja beliefs, while Ron, in my opinion, is unintentionally using Yori as an escape from his usual dynamic with Kim.
But let's get one thing straight. When it comes to saving the beautiful girl and winning her affections, that's my honor. Got it?
Fair enough, outsider. Fair enough.
While the two are close, Yori didn't have enough time to develop an actual relationship with Ron that could compete with his existing relationship with Kim.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like, your opinion, man.
This is also the case with Zeta. The episode Grudge Match shows that he follows the so-called rules, which prevent a guy like him from dating Zeta.
Why? It's the rules.
While he seems to overcome this by the end of the episode, the next Zeta episode, Virturon, shows he is still suffering from this. To maintain his relationship with Zeta, he begins lying about his knowledge of her favorite game to impress her.
Wraith Boy's taking everybody prisoner.
What's his damage?
I think he's trying to impress you.
By being good at Everlot? Like I'm not shallow? It's just a game. Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
What does this have to do with Kim? Compared to Ron, Kim is not only a crime fighter, but a cheerleader and is very socially active. While he really has nothing going on for him, he cannot lie to Kim about who he is, as she has known him since pre-K. So Ron has ruled out any chance of Kim seeing him outside of a friend, and that was fine. He even supported Kim in her previous crushes, in whatever way he could, without getting jealous. Then Eric appeared.
Darn it, change your name, please. That's not scary, and I'm embarrassed to say it.
Like Josh, Eric was a popular, hot guy. But this time, Ron was acting way more obvious about his feelings.
Hooked on? Ew, Kim and me, no. We've been best friends since, forever, but not like that. She's a...
Extreme steam.
Okay, hey, you know what? Let's not talk about her that way ever again. K. Huh?
It takes a while to learn Monique speak.
How about you?
What about me?
Yeah, Kim is such a kidder. Did I mention we've known each other since pre-K? Good times. Good times!
Thanks again for having me over for dinner.
No big.
It's so sweet.
Got that right.
Oh, it was fun. When we were kids, I mean.
Yeah, just the two of us.
Hey, I remember this. Ron, the happy camper.
Camp Wanna Weep. The worst summer of my life.
I know. The ticks, the poison ivy, the toxic lake. Your mom stopped accepting your phone calls.
Yeah, all that stuff was bad, KP, but you know what was worse? Spending a whole summer away from you.
Something just happened.
What changed? I think this is mostly because of the presence of these past crushes never really threatened his relationship with Kim. There are signs Ron was annoyed with how differently Kim regarded Josh to him.
Oh, Josh Mankey.
Mankey.
Latin, So that's where you've been slinking off to after chemistry. Have you at Emptor?
He was gonna ask me. I could see it in his eyes.
So he takes you to dinner, you two see a movie, big tap dancing, whoop. We do that stuff together all the time.
This is different, Ron. We're talking about a real date with Josh Mankey. I want it to be perfect.
Have you ever noticed that Mankey is but one vowel away from monkey? Yeah, I'm not implying anything. It's just something to think about, that's all.
Minky monkey.
And I'll say no more. Have to admit, they sound a lot alike. A lot alike.
Ron, will you let the Mankey Monkey conspiracy die already? I'm begging you.
No. Caller ID, caller ID. Monkey.
Their relationship with Josh Mankey fizzled out, and Kim moved on before Ron's feelings were really tested. He could still spend all his time with Kim regardless if they were dating or not. Then suddenly, he couldn't. Now with Eric, Ron is spending less time with Kim, and when he is with her, he is now the third wheel. He is the best friend, but Kim's boyfriend will take the majority over her time.
Ron, Eric's not going to change what we're all about. We'll always be tight.
Yeah, pretty words, Kim.
We're not in pre-K anymore. Time to grow up.
Well, maybe I don't want to grow up. You know, if that means...
Kim?
To make things worse, Eric is his total opposite. Handsome, mature, and has a sweet ride. But what about emotion sickness, I pretend to hear you to say? In the episode, Kim falls in love with Ron due to a modulator actually being set to lovesick. During this period, Kim obsesses over Ron, and Ron seems very uncomfortable with the idea of dating Kim.
We better get going.
Yeah, sure thing.
I'll see you after class.
Kim!
Ronnie, I have a little favor to ask.
Sorry, KP, I was just... Leave it!
However, we learn in that episode that while Ron has thought about dating Kim and thinks she would make the perfect girlfriend, he's afraid of their relationship tanking, believing if they got together they would surely break up. This goes back to the earlier point of how lowly Ron views himself. At the end, when everything is settled, Ron sounds disappointed that Kim didn't have feelings for him.
So I guess the crush and everything was all modulator, huh?
Not everything. There's still fireworks.
You think so?
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that?
Luckily, Kim does feel the same way.
I mean, why can't girls make it more obvious? She was being all ninja about us. How am I supposed to know what's going on?
Well, you got me.
Why can't the ladies just say how they feel?
A lot of people don't buy Kim has feelings for Ron prior to Soda Drama, as the whole movie is about her trying so hard to avoid Ron as an option. Likewise, Kim isn't the nicest to Ron throughout the series.
I don't know what it's like in there. It's a meeting of the Lifetime Losers Club.
Yeah. Hey, I've been in detention.
Huh.
In the Mad Dog episode, Kim seems so against the idea of Ron joining the cheer team, viewing his Mad Dog stunts so badly she briefly sides with Bonnie of all people, when deciding to get rid of him. Only to change her mind on the possibility of Ron turning into the next dragon. She even tries to change his image in the new Ron. So if Kim thinks so little of Ron, why would she like him? Based on what Kim said in Homecoming Upset, Kim has liked Ron since they were kids. Is this a retcon? No. This is just Kim being a teenager. Despite Kim complaining about Ron's weirdness, this is a trait that she admires in him, and which led to them becoming friends in the first place.
Did that one kid have opposable toes?
You're weird, but I like you.
Unfortunately, this often comes into conflict with Kim's desire to fit in. Dating Ron is not going to score Kim points like dating a more desirable guy like Josh Mankey would. But more often than not, Kim's care for Ron will shine through.
He's ditching us! Ditcher! Ron does not ditch. Ron, are you going to live in fear just because of some rules that exist only in your head?
It's got nothing but air beneath the hair.
Hello. Come on, Ron. You just have to, work harder to
Realize my potential. Heard it, lived it, bought the movie rights.
You cannot allow this, Kim. Bonnie, I'm as freaked out about this as you are. But there is no rule that says Ron can't try out. Check your calendar. This is not Befriend a Loser week. Ron is not a loser. He's just... different.
Hey, ladies, let's boogie!
Oh, yeah.
It should be noted that Kim has never had the thought of ditching Ron. Kim also insists on Ron coming with her on every mission she does, despite his many screw-ups. Despite getting annoyed by his many antics, Kim clearly values having Ron at her side. Why? Aside from being her longtime close friend, Kim could expect Ron to be honest with her, especially if it's about something she doesn't want to admit to herself. Ron is well aware of who Kim is on and off missions, not treating her any differently, even if he does overstep his bounds. Kim doesn't have to worry about losing Ron's friendship or not fitting an image. Ron on numerous occasions has boosted Kim's confidence in situations where she was afraid she would fail.
Reality check, Kim. If you can defeat an international super freak, you can handle Josh Mankey.
Look, Ron, I'm not sure I even have a talent, okay?
Hello? Are you forgetting? Kim Possible. She can do anything.
This is on national television, Ron. And the judge is so mean.
Kim, you foil super freaks on a daily basis and you're worried about some snarky TV pretty boy? Nah?
Oh yeah, pretty much.
And even if she does fail, Ron expects that she will figure something out eventually. Ron's presence alone allows Kim to confidently do dangerous missions, even if all he does is stay out of the way. One particular moment that caught me off guard was a very possible Christmas. Kim is looking for a lost Ron with no real leads. When all hope seems lost, Kim begins to cry, which makes me realize I've never seen Kim genuinely upset before. Sure, there are other episodes where she's frustrated or upset, but the main thing about Kim is how strong-willed she is. The other time was in Stitch in Time, where Kim was faced with the prospect of drifting apart from Ron. Ron has been Kim's moral support since the beginning.
You're sure this is the right address, Ron?
Yep, someone's trapped in there.
I don't know. This seems like the kind of stuff the police should handle.
Truth in advertising, Kim. Your website says you can do anything.
Now it sounds braggy. Okay.
Booyah, Kim!
A cheerleader?
That'd be Kim Possible. She can do anything.
Ron doesn't need to be her fighting equal. He just has to be there for her to do her best. Also, her attempts to substitute Ron always fail, as they don't have Ron's experience of keeping up with Kim.
I got it, Kim. I'll stun him.
Wait, no!
Why has Kim never shown her feelings for Ron if she likes him? In Kim's mind, Ron has never made a move to tell her he saw her as girlfriend material. She has seen Ron actively pursue other girls, and at some point he seems to disregard that she is also a girl.
That's cool when it's just us guys, but you know, clean up your act. We're entertaining a lady.
Hey, you don't tell him to cut out that gross stuff when I'm around.
What's your point?
Never mind.
Can we go?
Oh, and I need to get some ointment for toenail fungus. Yeah.
Need I bother with the ugh?
That was your first day with the braces. You were still getting used to them.
I forgot about that one.
Shut up or I'll bust your face!
From Kim's perspective during the whole Tara situation, Ron never made a move on Tara because he wasn't interested in her, despite Tara being obvious about her crush. Kim says it's obvious, but that's very debatable. Similar to Ron, Kim didn't want to destroy their already close relationship for a romance that clearly wouldn't work. There are some things that are okay between friends, but not acceptable for a partner in a relationship. Not believing that Ron was capable of stepping up to being boyfriend material, Kim buried any feelings to maintain their friendship. For the most part, this was okay, though when Ron showed interest in other girls, she clearly couldn't help but be annoyed.
Her name's Shigo. She's wanted in 11 countries.
Make that 12.
So not your type. Come on, Casanova. You'll never complain about space food again. Save me, please.
Can't. Meet in Zeta.
Excellent. For you.
Yuri! Yuri, this is Kim and Monique.
Kim Possible. I have heard much.
Really? I haven't.
Gotcha. Hey, let's spin by the school with this baby. You know, being known as the big swirly saver just might impress the ladies.
Which ladies?
You know, giant swirly loving ladies.
Yeah.
In Soda Drama, Kim seems upset other guys don't see her as girlfriend material, and it should be stuck going with Ron.
What if she's right? Is there anything sadder than going to the prom with your just a friend?
And his naked mole rat.
This is not because Ron is the last option. As much as she likes Ron, in her current mental state, She's under the impression that she will lose so much in this situation. Bonnie will have the last laugh, and she'll be stuck with her just a friend, knowing he doesn't see her as a romantic option either. Previous to some of the drama, Kim and Ron went to most functions together, but always under the pretense of them being just friends. This is why she's so determined to get a date. What about Bad Boy? I also pretend to hear you say. In the episode, Kim suggests going as Ron's date, and his reaction makes her backpedal.
What if you brought a date?
A date? A date? Well, it would have the element of surprise, but I've been down this road before. Unless... not that I'm asking you.
No, because we're friends, and,
It would be awkward?
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Awkward.
Saying is, a girl is interested in me, and I'm not going to ignore it.
If I want you,
You want me to what? Forgot what you're gonna say. Happens to me all the time.
Well, I'm off.
Even as his date, Kim insisted they're going as friends.
Thanks for being my date, friend.
If she wanted Ron to make a move, why would she do this? Here, Kim feels like Ron's last option. He spent the whole episode trying to get another date. And Kim went to save him from being sent to the kids' table after his whole evil transformation.
Thanks for being my date, friend.
Admittedly, not as awkward as feared.
Ron's earlier reaction to her going as his date being awkward definitely stuck with her. At one point in the movie, Kim seems to want Ron to ask her to prom.
KP, I think I know what this is about.
You do?
It's because I messed up and helped Draken and Shigo get away.
Oh, no. I'm used to that. I mean, you know, we'll get him.
Having been once again rejected, Eric seems to be the solution to this problem. He's a handsome guy who shows immediate romantic interest in her, and he thinks her crime-fighting lifestyle is cool. The problem?
Oh, yeah.
You want to know what my mission is?
Okay, what?
To take you to the prom.
Oh, okay.
Eric is a lie. He's an enigma created by Draken with the sole intention of keeping Kim busy so he can fulfill his evil plans. Fortunately, Kim trusted Ron and was able to stop Draken's plans in time.
And they were evil!
Right. Sure.
Buckle up, Kim, because it gets weirder.
No, I'll bet.
Draken is behind the whole thing! The takeover the world mad scientist guy? Yes, it's all so obvious! Look, use the more than 30,000 Bueno Nacho locations worldwide to give out his evil prizes!
I'm going to check this out.
What?
Ron might be onto something.
His whole story is ridiculous.
Eric...
Hey, back up, pretty boy!
If Ron didn't confess to her, Kim may have buried her feelings forever, as every time she puts herself out there, she's been met with disappointment. Knowing Ron feels the same gives Kim the confidence to not only defeat Draken, but go to the prom without worrying about how others see her, getting the best of both worlds. This continues in season 4.
I don't care what time it is. This is an emergency! Kim, pick up, pick up, pick up!
Ron?
Are you a syntho drunk, KP? Be honest, I can take it!
Ron, you had a nightmare. Good night.
Wait! Before that part where you melted, we were at the dance and...
We kissed.
Yeah. Did you have the same dream?
No, that part really happened, Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it won't happen again if you keep calling me in the middle of the night.
Man, love is complicated.
People typically want a show back to be more the same thing or resolve a cliffhanger. Here, Kim Possible continues with the comedic storyline while also addressing the end of the movie, which fans also desperately wanted to see. This provides a fresh yet familiar dynamic between Kim and Ron without changing too much of the tone to shock the audience. Ron's flaws don't magically disappear now that he's Kim's boyfriend. Many of his bad habits shown in earlier episodes are addressed as soon as the first episode, with Ron lying to try to keep Kim as his girlfriend, and Kim admitting that she likes Ron for who he is, not for fitting expectations like she did in previous seasons.
Ron, I don't care about dating a jock. I care about dating you. Ron's stoppable no matter who he is. As long as he's honest.
Kim is much more confident after getting together with Ron, as none of the plots deal with Kim feeling pressure to fit in, and more with her going past her high school worries. Especially concerning Bonnie, Kim actually gains a backbone, and is able to stand up to Bonnie, realizing how pathetic she really is. In previous episodes, Kim is quite passive-aggressive to Bonnie, but would always try to make friends with her. or try to impress her. Bonnie was also one of Kim's many weaknesses.
That stick's not really made of gold, is it?
Gold plastic. But it's not what the spirit stick is made out of, Ron. It's what it represents.
What's that?
That Bonnie can't have it.
She's got fog.
Did I mention the finale where I fly out over the audience, Kim? I'll bet you're crushing on someone right now. Give us a hint.
His name is Bobby Johnson. Just moved here from Upperton. But I'm not sure if I like him because I like him or because he asked out Bonnie first. I knew it.
You're letting Bonnie play you.
Am not.
What good is saving the world if you don't have someone to share it with?
Okay, a little. Just once. I'd like to make her eat her words.
They are low carb.
Season 4 has Kim realize how much power she actually has against Bonnie. She has a loving boyfriend, a close family, and an amazing future. She is no longer the girl stressing herself out trying to beat her longtime frenemy. Bonnie has essentially become a non-threat to Kim at this point. A freaking problem in Friends to Lover is how the characters really don't change after getting together, or they act drastically different, or they just never show it. Here, there's no breakup or breaks to inflict drama. You're just watching the characters grow to their natural conclusions. Neither Kim or Ron are too out of character, and many struggles presented are ones from previous episodes. Their roles are drastically changed with this new relationship. Ron isn't just Kim's boyfriend, and Kim isn't just Ron's girlfriend.
Kimberly and Possible, who shall be known as the Car Monkey.
Could you not call her that?
Thank you, Ron.
Oh no, not for you. It's for me. Still got some monkey issues. Go ahead.
Shut up or I'll bust your face!
Kim and Ron even get jobs, don't have to use favors for rides anymore, and Ron's pants don't fall down as much anymore. This all leads to the actual for real finale, graduation. Ron is scared of the future, fearing change, and most importantly, how Kim and him may break up. This has been a constant problem since the beginning of the series. While in Soda Drama, Change was losing his relationship to Kim because of another guy. This time, he may lose Kim for something he cannot change about himself. This time, the two aren't confined to the world of high school. He has a real chance of losing Kim.
Look, Kim, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Wade thinks it's sunspots.
No, not the power. What I'm saying is, after graduation, you're headed to the stars, and,
Ron? What?
I'm stuck on Earth, but I don't want to hold you back, so whatever happens, I'm okay with it.
Oh, Ron.
Attention scene.
Knowing how Ron is, Kim acts as the voice of reason, but she too is scared.
Okay, look, remember at graduation when I started to say I had a confession?
That was you? I thought that was Rieger.
It was me. Anyway, you don't think I'm scared too?
You? Scared?
Of course she is. Oh, scary! Oh, shiver my timbers! Shut up!
Kim and Ron's fear of losing each other is a defining part of the characters. After awakening to his mystic monkey powers, Ron is finally able to reach his true potential. After dealing with an alien threat, Kim and Ron are able to face the future without fear that anything they come against will ruin their relationship, completing both of their character arcs.
Told you graduation wasn't the end of the world.
Oh, better luck next time, buddy!
So as you can see, Kim and Ron deserve to be together forever.
Jesus Christ, parasocial! You need to log off! Jesus Christ!
Okay, I'm done rambling. See you guys next time.
Back away, back away, back away.